Hello friends, welcome to the 122nd session of Hybris tutorial. In this video, we are going to create one complete end-to-end flow in Hybris. But this video is not only about creating one custom feature because that we have created already in many videos. This video is also going to act as a standard implementation template for SAP Hybris development, meaning whenever we create any new flow in SAP Hybris, we generally need to understand what to write in controller layer, what to write in facade layer, what to write in service layer, what to write in the DAO layer, what to write in populators, and what to configure in which extensions Spring XML, and when to use the tag files, and most importantly, what not to write in each of these files. And to demonstrate this, we will create a practical feature called as HybrisTube Product Eligibility Check. The business requirement of this feature is very simple, and it is a user will open a separate CMS page from the storefront. On that page, the user will enter a product code. Then the system will check whether this product is eligible to sell or not. For this eligibility check, we will validate the three things. First, the product should be approved. Second, the product should be in stock. Third, the product should have a valid price. If all these conditions are satisfied, then we will show the message that product is eligible to sell. Otherwise, we will show the proper reason. For example, product doesn't exist, or product is not approved, or product is out of stock, or product price is missing. In the storefront, we will show the result in a table, and we will also show a pop-up message to the user telling whether the product is eligible to sell or not. So what we are going to create in this video, in this implementation, we will create these layers like controller layer, facade layer, converter and populator layer, service layer, DAO layer, Spring XML configuration, data bean configuration in beans.xml, GSP component, tag file, and CMS Impex files, right? So this is a very good practical example because this kind of flow is commonly used in real Hybris projects. And using this example, we will discuss each layer, including the controller, facade, service, and DAO layer in detail. And how the pattern will look like? Pattern will be like controller will receive the request, facade will prepare the front end facing data, and service will contain the business logic. DAO will handle the database queries, and populator will convert the internal result which we will receive from the service layer into the facade data. JSP and tag files will render the result, and CMS Impex connects these JSP component with the CMS page. Complete flow is storefront page to the controller, to the facade, to the service, to DAO, and back to service, back to facade, to the converter and populator, back to controller, to JSP, to tag file, and to the final storefront result. And please don't worry, we will do the end-to-end implementation as well, where I will write the each and every code file as well. But this is just to demonstrate how the flow will look like. Now let's start the technical implementation of this requirement. We will start with creating the controller layer. Please remember that in SAP Commerce Storefront, the controller is responsible for handling the web request. And as you can see, in our case, we have created the HybrisTube Product Eligibility Page Controller. Please remember that controller always sit within the storefront extension. For example, in our case, it is training storefront extension, and within the training storefront extension, within the web folder, right, we have the SRC folder, and within this SRC folder only, right, we create the controllers, right, within the controllers folder. You also have to do the same thing. Right here, you can see we have this HybrisTube product eligibility page controller. This controller has two methods. The first method is used to basically open the page, right? And the second method is used to check the product eligibility. The first URL is this, right? HybrisTube product eligibility. this is used to load the page, right? So this URL, right, HybrisTube Product Eligibility, right, this URL is basically used to load the page. When basically we load the page, right, at that time, basically this method comes into the picture. And the second URL is HybrisTube Product Eligibility slash check, right? This is used when the user submits the form. Now let us understand what should be written in this controller and what should not be written, right? So this controller should be able to handle the request, or it should contain the request handling logic, right? It should prepare the models, right? Here you can see we are preparing the models as well, and it should be able to call the facade layer, right? So simple calling of the facade, that logic should be written inside the controller classes, right? But controller should not contain any business logic, meaning controller should not decide whether this product is approved or not, right? Or whether this product has stock associated or price associated or not. That business logic should reside in the service layer. I will explain that part in some time. But please be aware that the controller should be a very thin layer, right? Or it should be a very thin class. It should not contain any business logic. And the controller should not directly call the DAO as well, right? Controller should not directly write the flexible search queries as well, right? As you can see in our controller, right, what we have done, we have just injected the HybrisTube Product Eligibility facade. This is correct because the storefront controller should talk to the facade layer, right? Not directly to the service or DAO, because in the service the business logic will reside, and in the DAO we will be basically interacting with the database. So it should basically interact with the facade layer. That's why we usually inject the facade bean into the controller class. So in short, we can say that controller should only coordinate the flow. It should not be doing any business validation itself, and that is the most important point. Now, along with this controller, we also created one supporting form class, which is HybrisTube Product Eligibility Form, right? This class contains only one field, which is product code, right? This form class is used by GSP as well as the controller, right? I will show that GSP part in some time, but you already saw that we are using this right into the controller class as well. So in SAP Hybris, these form classes are commonly used when we have user input from the GSP, right? What should be inside this form class? Only the fields that come from the UI, right? Only those fields should reside basically into these form classes, right? For example, in our case, this is the product code, right? So our form class has only the one property, which is product code, right? And what should not be residing inside the form class, any type of business logic should not be residing inside the form class, and there should not be any database calls as well within this form class, right? And the service calls should also not be made into this form class. Form class is only for carrying the user input from the UI to the controller, right? As you can see here, during the page load, I am binding an empty form object, right? And when I receive the request from the front end, right, in the check method, you can see I am receiving the data from this HybrisTube product eligibility form. So I hope now you understand this. So controller class, I hope now it is clear to you, right? This sits in the storefront extension, and now it is clear to you what should be residing within the controller class and what should not be basically residing into the controller class. For example, you should not be directly interacting with the service layer, or you should not be making the database, right, queries directly within the controller class. Those type of things you need to take care, right? Now let's focus on the data objects, right? Now you can see I will just click on the update button. As soon as I click on the update button, you will see that in the backend system update will start, right? You can see system update has started, right? And you can see right over here guys, right? You can see it has basically run the Impex file as well over here, right? I hope it is clear to you. And now you can see even the system update has completed, so it has hardly taken 15 seconds, right? So it is very important that you understand, right, where your Impex file lies and which all options while performing the system update you should select, right? I hope guys this is clear to you. Now guys, if I show you in the back office, right, if I go into the back office, if I log in with my credential, username is admin and the password is nimda, right? Now we have imported this Impex, right? But you can see in this Impex, data is basically into the stage catalog, meaning I have to do the catalog sync, right? So that this data can be propagated to the online catalog also. Then I should only open the page, right, or the page which is mapped into the controller class, right? So you can see now I am into the back office, and for doing the catalog sync, what I will do, I will go to the catalog version, right? And as you can see, right, in my Impex file, right, here you can see I have this April UK content catalog, right? So meaning I have to go into the stage version of April UK content catalog, right? As you can see, now I am going into the April UK catalog, right, the stage version. And here I will be performing the catalog sync so that the data can be propagated into this online catalog. For that I will just click on this, right, synchronize, and then I will select this and I will click on the sync button. As soon as I click on the sync button in the backend, you can see, right, there is a sync job which has been started, right, which will basically sync the stage catalog with the online catalog. Let's wait for this sync job to get finished, right? Then you will see, right, that the data is there in the online catalog as well. So guys, now you can see catalog sync job has been completed successfully. Now as a next step, right, what we will do, we will do the testing, and for that you can see I am just enabling the debug point, right? So you can see I have enabled the debug, right? Then what I will do, I will just open the storefront. Here you can see now I have opened the storefront, right? If I go to the controller level mapping, right, here you can see the mapping is HybrisTube Product Eligibility. So guys, now you can see if I render this URL, right, so you can see flow has come into the HybrisTube Product Eligibility page controller. Here in the get method, right, the flow has come, right? If I basically move next, then you will see, right, the page would have been loaded. So you can see now the CMS page, our newly created CMS page has been loaded. If I basically give any product code, for example, if I enter the product code as 45572, then you will see if I click on check eligibility, right, because we have written in our GSP that on click of this button on the submission of the form, we should be basically calling the check API, right, or the flow should come over here. As you can see now, if I click on check eligibility, flow has come over here. It is then calling the facade class. As you can see, it is calling the facade class, and here in this HybrisTube product eligibility form, whatever is the product code which user has submitted in the front end, I can see over here in the product code. So now you can see flow is has come into the facade class, right here. Then the flow is going into the service class, right over here. You can see the flow is coming into the service class. Here we have the actual business logic. We are even calling the DAO as well for basically fetching the product code, right? So you can see here we have the DAO class into the picture, right? And then from the DAO, the flow comes back to the service class, right? And then service class, based on its logic, right, it basically gives me whether this product is basically eligible for showing on the website or not. And the same response we return to the controller, right, in the form of data object by using the converter populator mechanism, right, as you can see. Right now, whatever the result, right, we see that result I have basically returned back to the front end, and that is why you can see I am getting the error, right? Product price is missing because for this product, price must have been missing, and that's why this problem is coming. And that is what I see over here as well. So I hope now you understand, right? The end to end flow, how the different right classes are created, what should be present in which file, what should be present into the controller class, and what should not be present into the controller class, right? Controller class should be the super thin class, right? It should not be heavyweight class, it should be a lightweight class, right? Similarly, all the logic should reside into the service class. So that's all for this video. In this session, we created a complete end-to-end SAP Hybris flow for product eligibility check. We created the controller and form class. We created facade and converter. We created the populator. We created service and DAO. We also created JSP component and tag file. We also created CMS Impex file to connect the page slot and JSP include component, and did the corresponding configuration so that the Impex file can be executed while performing the system update. And most importantly, we understood what responsibility belongs to which layer. This is very important for real SAP Commerce project, because once we understand this pattern, we can create many similar flows in a clean and maintainable way. Thanks for watching this session of HybrisTube. Keep learning, keep practicing, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.